So I just spoke to Stephen Levitan, who said he talked to you about the show years ago and even wrote Reed kind of with you in mind. So when something like that happens, how involved are you with shaping the character?
Well, originally I wasn't terribly involved. I let Steve do his thing and come up with what he felt that the essence of Reed was, and then I really feel for the most part on a lot of my job is to clarify and crystallize who that character is, enhance who the character is. And then sometimes when you're doing that, other ideas spring up about what you feel you can do or what direction you want him to go in. And so that was the natural process, and that did happen. Yeah, so that did happen. He was open to hearing ideas, and so I shared them. So I shared them.
And your character, Reed, likes to mention that he went to the Yale School of Drama and seems to be looking for depth, even though he's acknowledged as this amazing comedian, as someone who's clearly an amazing comedian and very intentional. Like, is that something that was easy to relate to for you?
Well, it was, I don't know. What I found so interesting about Reed is that it is this, this sense, this obliviousness to his I don't know that I relate to it, but this obliviousness to his talent, to a natural knack for something he has. And I think that it's interesting. He's like a cautionary tale for people, which is accept what's in front of you. Like he's on the show, like clearly the show was a success. It was on for 6 years and would have gone on for longer if he had not left it. And he had no awareness or sense of his actual innate talent. It was more important to him that people understood his pedigree than his actual innate gifts, which is, I think, a fascinating thing to do for a character, that they would be oblivious in that way.
Sure. And it looks like Reed and Judy Grew's character Brie, are going to have some stuff going on. Without spoilers, is there anything you can hint at about that dynamic?
Well, I think it's instead of saying a will they, won't they, it's more of a can they. To me, it's like a can they, will they. It's can they reconnect in a way that's meaningful. And I'm trying to think, without spoiling things. There is a wonderful dynamic between them because they work really well together. But their history, they're allowing their history to get in the way of something that may or may not be inevitable. Is that vague enough?
That's excellent. That's perfect. And also, you're obviously so steeped in improv and sketch. Like, is that a part of being on set in Reboot, or are you pretty much just going with the script?
No, it is an aspect of Reboot. It is definitely an aspect of it, which is that sometimes your mind, because if you're an improviser, your mind is kind of clicking fast. So there are times where you were ready to zig, and sometimes we've been given the luxury to go, so can I just say this real quick, Stephen? What if X, Y, and Z happened instead of LMNOP happened? And oftentimes he'll be flexible enough to look at it and let us film it that way. But for the most part, I would say the writing's so strong on the show, you want to live in a world of clarity. Just make the writing as clear and as dynamic as possible, and ride it. Ride the writing. Woo, that's a tough one, right? Ride writing like a wave. So that if there's some way that you can enhance it, go ahead. But when we do improvise, Owen, there's a very narrow lane that we're improvising in. It's not like we don't have to create the characters or create the situations. And when I say we, I'm speaking mostly from me and Rachel being the improvisers of the group.
Sure. Cool. Well, I think that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
I appreciate it. My pleasure. Nice to meet you.